All right, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? As always, I'm your co-host, Nirvana83. This is our other lovely co-host, HXG. And we are here with We HQ because we got questions. But before we get into that, Jax, tell the people them, how was your week? As she chomps in camera.
I don't know why you make me go first all the time. I'm always eating. My week was good. My week was good.
You gonna give us a highlight?
It was just a good week. There was no really highlights. And I don't remember if it was this week. It could have been last week that I got complimented. I think it was last week because I talked about it. I think so. But yeah, I don't have any highlights. It was just a good week.
I will say that the reason why you typically go first is because I typically introduce us. So to introduce us and then be like, let me keep talking, that's why you go first. So if you want to start introducing us.
I don't even know my name.
Right. I'm sure.
Oh, I guess yesterday would be.
I was like, well, damn, I'm chopped liver.
I don't know. I don't mean like for me, like the week. I'm talking about the 5 days, Monday through Friday. I'm not talking about.
No, I just be talking about anything that you found enjoyable, any highlight of your week, anything that was like, yeah, this was good. This was a good time.
Yesterday was a good time. Got to have Friendsgiving. It was basically cracking up the whole night, you know.
Yeah, your fucking side quests.
And I've learned some new facts of how people really feel about me or think of me.
Well, is it a fact if that shit?
I didn't say it was a fact. I said what
you said I learned some new facts.
Yeah, it is a fact that I learned something new. I don't understand of how I am perceived by people.
By person, because it was one person.
By one person's. But other than that, I had a good time.
For context, you guys, because she's clearly not giving that today.
I went to a wedding. Did I talk about the wedding last week?
Yes.
I did. See, look. I did talk about it. I don't even remember what I talked about. This is why I'm terrible at therapy. I'd be like, what did I tell my therapist the last time? So I don't repeat myself. But yeah, that was my week.
My highlight is also Friendsgiving. I had a great time. I got to see one of my closest friends. She drove in from Connecticut to hang out with us. So that was really nice. And then the games was mad fun. The food was mad good. That food. I'm so sad we don't have more leftovers.
Damn, I'm looking at my scraps like Jesus.
Cause I'm like, we always got half trays. Now we know we need a full tray of chicken. We need at least 2. At least 2 half trays of the chicken or a full tray. But I feel like everything else was still a good portion. But yeah, that food was.
We needed yams.
You said we needed yams?
We didn't have enough yams.
Well, we weren't gonna have any, but y'all just ate mine, so.
Well.
Yeah.
I brought paper towels so I can get some yams.
My goodness.
Yeah, I had some of my mashed potatoes. Ain't nobody was supposed to touch those mashed potatoes. So sharing is caring.
You're right. But it was a good time. It was good company, good food, good conversation. And speaking of conversation, I thought it was really interesting. So, for context, it had been my previous perception that if you were going to be medicated for something, it's because you quite literally cannot function without it. So having a conversation with one of our friends who was like, no, it literally allows me to do the thing. Especially from my perspective, I feel like she has been functioning without it her whole life, obviously, right? So to like hear from someone who's like, no, 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 like I only take it when I need it, and I only need it when I like legit have something to do so that I can finish the thing I have to do. I was just like, oh, it could also just be like as needed. I like in my brain, I think I'd always had it understood that if you take medicine, it's like you got to take it all the time because you need it all the time. Not like you just need it when you need it and then you don't need it. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a really interesting conversation. And it was also interesting to note that basically everybody in this house yesterday is neurospicy. Both diagnosed and undiagnosed. But I really appreciated that conversation because it was almost like a light bulb went off. Like, you don't gotta take some every day. You just take them when you need it. I thought that was cool. And with that in mind, because that was my perspective, let's get into today's topic. Perspective. I think this is kind of like the shortest warm-up we've ever had. Normally we'd be yapping for about 20 minutes.
That's because I was eating.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm focused now.
Oh, well, thank you. So let's start off with the definition. What do you think perspective even is? Are you looking it up? Jax?
What?
What is perspective?
I don't know.
So when someone's like, oh, well, that's just my perspective, what do you think they're saying?
I think it's like a point of view or what they...
She Googled the shit out of this. I'm listening.
I did it, though. I have my center open. But I think it's like someone's point of view. That's really what I think. And well, as someone who was heavy into art a long time ago, I think of it more in the art point of view. But yeah, I think it's just someone's, you know, I was about to say perceived notion of something, but it's using the word in the definition.
It is.
But yeah, I think it's like their feeling towards it or their attitudes towards something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, by definition, perspective is quite literally just your point of view, like how you see something. Do you think, given that if it's based on how you see something, right, and how you experience the world is, as far as we understand it to be like unique to you, right? Can people have a shared perspective?
Yes, because if y'all have the same point of view on a specific topic, then it's a shared perspective.
But if my perspective is based off of my lived experience and how I've come to shape the world around me, and we don't have the same life, then how do we come to a shared perspective?
Because y'all could have a similar life experience.
So, like a more personal example, right? You and your sister grew up in the same house, right?
Right.
Do you think you guys see the world the same? Y'all had the same upbringing, same house, same parent,
No.
even went to the same schools. Do y'all have a shared view of the world?
Of the world, no. But I'm not saying that just because you grew up in the same exact space, you're gonna have shared perspective. But I do believe that you can have a shared perspective with someone else who's had a similar upbringing or knowledge stack as you, if you will.
Okay. So, what do you think what is considered similar then, because you and your sister have exact same house, same parents, same schools, like. But y'all don't have.
We have a different learning style. Like my sister needed. She's dyslexic. If you just so you guys have background, she did. She quite literally probably didn't understand most of what she was learning, like conceptually, and so we can't really have a shared perspective if she doesn't have the same understanding of a certain topic. Like me and my brother can have a shared perspective on something because he's very much into history and very much into reading and stuff like that. So we could have a shared perspective because we have an understanding of whatever concept we're talking about. Like if I was a dancer, me and my sister, and here's one thing: I'm not a dancer, but because I've been at every dance show that she's had, I have an understanding of when someone misstepped, or I can tell like, oh, that person definitely didn't practice as much as everybody else, and as soon as I say it, she won't even say it. She's like, "Oh, how's the show?" I was like, "Oh, the show was good, but old girl over here, she was just missing steps left and right. I don't know what she was looking." She's like, "Yeah, she ain't come to no practice. She was barely paying attention." And I'm like, "Oh, like so." Depending on whatever, if we have a shared understanding of the context, then we can have a shared perspective. But if we don't have a shared understanding, because I could be like, yeah, and this technology, and I can go all out, and she could be like I could go into prime example, iPhone versus Android users. This is the basics right there. I can literally say, iPhone is a piece of junk, it don't do all this, and I can give you a whole breakdown as to why. And because someone's not really tech savvy, they're gonna be like, well, it calls and texts. And I'm gonna be like, and FaceTime is flawless compared to Samsung time. I don't know what it's called.
Motherfucker says Samsung time.
Because Samsung, there was a point where Samsungs can FaceTime each other and it still looked ass. WhatsApp was ass. Google Duo was ass. So it was like, it just works. So like, as much as the technology is better in another place, if you don't have an understanding of technology, you're gonna be like, and even people that's in the tech world, some people are like, listen, I do this shit enough. The iPhone does what it does. I don't need a fucking machine in my pocket. Like, so but I'm saying, like, they will honestly say, yes, this phone is shit, but it does what I needed to do, the shit that I needed to do.
Okay.
So it depends on the understanding of the perspective, the shared perspective, or the content.
This is gonna be my first and only one, and Heifer, you better hit that live button so I can knock. Thank you.
My OBS has not been working right. Please, I don't.
You can't be waiting to be live to be like, oh.
Because I was troubleshooting before, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
You better go live somewhere. See how she just be messing it up? My perspective is that she is a potato when it comes to putting in effort and shit she don't perceive as important.
Oh, I don't want, like, it should just work out the box. I understand. Like, that's why when people I think that's why I'm a really good like IT professional. Like when I work with users, because I understand. Like, why is it? It just needs to work. Like, I don't feel like I get it, but also I need to get y'all lives.
Interesting. So you're saying that if it's a similar enough alignment in terms of your life experience, then you can have a shared perspective. The similar doesn't necessarily stem from same everything, right? Because even having the same, you may see it differently. Like how my brother and I grew up in the same household, but he saw from his perspective, there was a lot more favoritism in my direction because I'm the youngest, I'm the girl. Whereas as the older brother, he had a lot more responsibility than he felt he should have had. Um, Even it's the same household. So I'm like, oh, childhood was great. And my brother was like, that shit was terrible. I had to be an adult. And I'm like, I got to be a kid. So what then lends itself to being like similar and or same? Like you just mentioned your brother, I'm assuming same household, right? So how did two of y'all come out with a similar perspective and one did not? If y'all had the same experiences in the house. Okay, she's buffering.
All right, say something.
Something.
It's not picking up your fucking audio. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me just put desktop audio on.
While we wait for her to figure out her tech issues,
Yeah, don't do me. All right,
feel
say
free. Something.
All right, something was said. All right, now let's start streaming.
You fixed it?
Okay, yeah, I should be live. You should see me in like 30 seconds. How can it be? Because every sibling has a different upbringing. Like, I'm not saying my brother has the same perspective as me, saying like, you know, I think my mom had a fair parenting, so, but also I feel like she babied my brother and sister. Like I had to do all this shit to learn how to live life, and it was like, no, they don't need to know how to write a check. They don't need to know how to write a letter. They don't need to know how to look up numbers in a phone book. Yes, I understand it's useless. That is completely useless right now, but at the time it wasn't. They don't need to know how to use it. Like, it was like shit that I was really, and then it was like, when they had homework, like my mom would she would go to the library, get the book that I'm reading in class. I would have to tell her, oh, I gotta read these 2 chapters. All right, well, we're gonna read 4. And she would read it and then question me about the book to make sure I comprehend what I read. Like, I'm just like, you ain't do none of this. Like, why are you not doing this with them? Why are you not doing it with them? I don't understand. So there's different, yeah, and it was very much like, yeah, it was very different. And then they had, like, my mom, by the time I was in high school, just for context, my brother and sister's 5 and 8 years younger than me. She was working a 9 to 5. So it was like she was, you know, checking on their homework and doing all this. Me, it was very much, I was in 11th grade, and she was like, do you even do homework? I've never seen a project in this house done since you was in 4th grade. Yes, because I've had to do this shit all like, and again, it's like I'm very like hyper independent. I don't ask for things, and it's like my siblings, they ask for help, but the thing is like I never get checked on. Like, it's like my mom checks on me, but it like during it, like growing up, it never was like, oh, how's school doing? It was just like, the only time it was, is everything all right? Is if my math grade dropped below a 90. Everything else, ABC student, but that math and science, yep, English, I was getting C's.
Wasn't you in AP English? How the fuck you get a C?
Because I don't do homework. I don't understand. This, okay, maybe for context, for people watching, there was a time where homework actually mattered into your grade. And depending on the teacher, if homework is 20-25%, and I'm not doing any of it, I'm gonna get a C. Like, I don't understand. Like, it mathematically makes sense. Like, you're like, a C? How do you get to AP English? And I literally just said I got C's in English until I was in 10th grade. And then I started getting A's. But the point is, I wasn't doing this shit. And
I
then
don't
I was talking
understand how you even got to the
so
AP English if you was getting
behavior
C's.
behavior was a grade too. Like, so if I'm talking, like, it literally, it was factored in, like everything was factored in. Like now it's straight up, did you do the work? Like behavior, I think, is like 5% of somebody's fucking grade now. Before it was 10%. So if homework is 20, I'm yapping, that's another 10%. I'm cooked. Like, I don't yes, I was gonna get a fucking C.
Behavior's not factored into your grade anymore, so carry on.
Yeah. Completely is gone.
It's just, do you meet the standards? That's it.
You can knock. I'm live. Well then, there you go. Had it just been that, I probably would have been a straight A student. But literally, this is too much. This two-step authentication. Like, I'm live in OBS. What do you need to prove that it's me?
And you make sure it's you.
And I wasn't going to originally go for why does it look like this?
What?
I don't know, it looks weird. I've never seen it look like this when I joined, but okay. Do you see us together?
I see it starting shared chat.
Start viewer call-ins. Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyhow.
I do. What was I saying? And as for AP English, I wasn't gonna take it, but the teacher was like, "Girl," she was like, she literally stopped me in the hallway. It was like, "I didn't see you submit your application, your written response." That was the application. You had to like read a college text and then write. I forgot what it was. Was it like? What was the context? I forgot what the context was to write about it, but it was a 10-page college essay, and then we had to write about whatever the thing was. And she was like, "I didn't see your application." I'm like, "Yeah, cause I'm not."
I didn't give it.
And she said the application deadline is 2:00. I said, "Okay," and it's about to be lunch. She's like, "All right, so have it to me by 2:00. So I starved and wrote the paper at lunchtime in the 40 minutes I had. And that's how I got to AP English. Like, I don't know what you're like. I'm not gonna say and be like, "Yeah, cause I was the best." Da, da, da. Hey, how are you?
Oh, look at that.
How are you, Brandon?
Welcome in.
I'm not gonna lie and say, "Oh yeah, I was a straight A student. I was doing it." I was just in 11th grade English. I was writing really good papers. That was it. I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, yeah, well, I was
Killing life.
I was just doing the work. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I was really. I guess my comparative essays were really good though. Those are always like I used to eat those shits up. Okay. What? Please. Man,
I can't.
Used to eat those shits up. Those are my favorite type of essays. Everything else, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about this. But
Yo, please free us from you.
The English exam, I got, I think, a 2 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and one other person.
2 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, the 3 would have made. What it makes, this is what cooks my life, y'all. I took the English Regents once. I didn't retake it. I think I got like a 72 or 73. The reason being, I fell asleep on the second day, and the proctor that day didn't wake me up. Day 1, the proctor woke me up. Day 2, the proctor was like, "Yeah, we got 5 minutes." And I'm like, 5 minutes? What the fuck are you talking about? Thank you to Call of Duty. That's why I got 72.
What?
So I take AP English like, yeah, I don't even need to worry about my Regents because I'm about to get a 3. Don't get a 3, so I can't use it towards college. Didn't get to go to the college that I wanted to go to. So I had no choice but to take the little entrance tests for CUNY to make so you can get into, class. Didn't think I was going to go to a CUNY because I was surely going to the Ivy League. And so I just went, bubbled in anything and left because I'm like, just doing it so I don't got to hear my mother's mouth. Fail both the math and the English. Again, you needed a 75. I guessed every single question. I got a 74 on the math. No, I got a 75 on the math, so I didn't have to take remedial math, but I got a 74 on the English. And they said you had to take remedial English. Do you know how much I wanted to just... That's it. Like, there was no point in living anymore. Because what do you mean? I just did AP English, and I got to take remedial English. And then I failed remedial English because I didn't go. I was just like, I'm not going. I was just like, this is crazy. I'm not going. Why am I paying to go to something I already did in high school? So, yeah.
Yo.
All that to say, yes, I was an ABC student.
Yo.
And I only got checked on if math dropped. So.
Right, Kachu, that's mad funny.
I'm just
right.
Had to go.
My goodness.
Get this ADHD thought in live action.
We love that for us. So, I guess one of the things that I want to know, because we've been having this conversation about like, can your shared experience and whatnot lend itself to a shared perspective? What are the parameters? And so in thinking of that, right? And we're political girlies. So, and I'm looking on the side because I'm looking at the questions that I pre-wrote.
Okay, I'm like, it's the side eye for me.
One of the questions that I had on here was specifically about like politics and whatnot. So if like ethical issues are involved, right? And we're talking about two groups that have like these really strong perspectives, opinions, thoughts. How do we move together, move forward as a society as a whole, towards like a shared, like a mutually agreed upon solution if all of our perspectives are so varied? And I was thinking about that because I'm thinking about how people be like, oh, you shouldn't be ostracized or punished for your political affiliations. And I'm like, while that may be true, I think there are certain affiliations that are far beyond politics. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
A general Republican, like a regular Republican, a regular Democrat, they're both like, we need to get the people food. The Democrats might be like, let's get the people pizza. The Republicans might be like, let's get the people wings. Certain other affiliations might be like, get them food. So that's why I'm like, how do we, if we have all these different perspectives on how we should accomplish a goal, then how do we move forward as a unified country? For like, for example,
education. Like, that's where the problem really lies there, because I'll use healthcare for an example.
Okay.
Because the American Care Act got passed by Obama, right? And because, I guess the Republicans was like, this is too much or whatever, they named it Obamacare. So everyone thought the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare was two separate things. Okay? The ones that are educated and understood the policies, they know that it's the Affordable Care Act. And so the people that's on the Affordable Care Act is like, yeah, you shouldn't get extra subsidies from the Obamacare and all this, but it's all the same shit. And the thing is, they don't know that their Affordable Care Act or Medicaid or Medicaid slash Medicare is named something else for their state or county. So they're like, yeah, I got Sunshine Care, and they're in Florida. That's the fucking Affordable Care Act. And then there's like the basic structure of understanding capitalism, right? If you don't understand how capitalism works, you're gonna be like, yes, everyone should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. It's not how that works. It's literally designed for you to try to make bootstraps out of berries and twigs and some grass and hope you get lucky enough to fall into the right place at the right time. Because a lot of this stuff is right place, right time, right? Everyone loves to use, even me. I will say I used this years ago when I graduated high school. It's like, why do I need to go to college? I don't need a college degree to know technology. Bill Gates dropped out. Look at him now. Then my mother said, do you know the backstory of Bill Gates? And I said, no. She was like, look up his life. This man came from a wealthy family, like dropped out of an Ivy, like, I don't think it was an Ivy, but I categorize, like MIT to me is Ivy, because honestly, they some bad motherfuckers. They really should be Ivy League, but I know the Ivy League is for like the founding colleges. It doesn't necessarily mean the best. Anyways, dropped out of college, had funding from his family, was able to start up his company from the ground up, right? And then, right place, right time, he was the monopoly at the time. He was so big at the time of him creating Microsoft that they had to chop that shit up. Because he was almost gonna be just, that was it. It was just gonna be Microsoft. There would be no Apple had they been like, nah, we're gonna have to stop you right there, brother. But it's a lack of understanding what's your point that you're trying to prove. And I'm not saying that I always have an understanding of the point I'm trying to prove. I just be yapping, and that's very true. But if someone says, hey, do you actually know this or whatever, I don't say I don't care about the facts, unless I'm digging around. I'll be like, you know what? I don't really know, but I'm going to stand on this point right now, and I'm going to go find out. And then I'll find out, and I come back, and I'll be like, so what I had said. Again, like people don't like to be corrected because they think that the person is perceiving them as stupid versus, hey, you're saying wrong information. Let me correct you. To them, it's like, oh, you just want to be right, or teacher's pet, or whatever the hell. And it's like, I don't want to be right, but there is correct information that I know is right. Like, and that's that. Like, I think is honestly, truly down to like either fully understanding the context or the context, or what the fuck was I just about to say? How did it drop off like that? It was right there. Fully understanding the conversation, fully understanding the background of the conversation, and having a good educational foundation. Because without that, it's going to be hard to bring two perspectives that are based on emotions and thoughts of what is, instead of the facts of what it is. I think that's the thing. Because one perspective is actually clearly right because they have the education behind, and the other one is just like, and in America, it's very much, we don't, sub communities in America believe in a community group, but what is taught to Americans is like, there can only be one shark. There can only be one shark in this sea, and once you make it, if you try to help somebody else, they're gonna take you out. You help a little shark get strong like you, now he gonna come for the master. So you gotta leave him there. And yeah.
I just out of curiosity, what do you think was the original question?
That's what I just said. That's what I said. I don't know if I answered the question
What question do you think you were asked?
I don't remember the question. I can't tell you. Oh, the question was, how do we bring two different perspectives, people that have two different perspectives, to align on one? Something like that.
So what was your answer to that question?
The answer was having a good
education.
Education, yeah.
Well, the reason why, like, I guess
this ADHD.
Yeah, you might need a little Addy.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell my psychiatrist, like, yo, I need, because I feel like I started answering the question and then other thoughts was like, okay, this connects. And it just...
I had a good time. I like the journey.
But then I answered the question.
Well, if your answer is, if we're all equally educated, then we can then have a better chance of coming together on a unified solution based on our different perspectives. But then that goes into question the quality of the education. Because if I'm educated in New York City public school,
from the top 5, and I only know 4 of them. So Jersey, Massachusetts, New York, Cali, and I think it's either Connecticut or Vermont or New Hampshire.
We met somebody from Connecticut yesterday. I don't know if it's them.
Yo.
I just said I don't know.
Bro.
I just said I don't know. I'm about to Google it. Top educated U.S. states.
Yeah, I know the top 3 is New York, Cali. The top 4 is New York, Cali, Jersey, and Massachusetts. I know that. I don't know who the 5th.
Massachusetts. Oh wait, let me just ranking educational attainment. Is that what we want to go with?
I guess.
States population, college degree. Okay. Well, Massachusetts, Colorado, Vermont, Minnesota, Connecticut. But that's college. That's college, though.
Well, we need people that, at least a high school diploma.
Let's see. I will say I love how easily accessible Google is these days. Because I feel like I learn so much more, so much faster.
I was watching an Instagram thing, and it was funny because it was a meme about the R3 button on the PS2 controller. Mm-hmm. And it was like, someone commented and was like, yeah, me looking up on yahoo.com. And I totally forgot that it was a fucking search engine.
I'm like, they took it back.
I was like, ask Jeeves. I know I did that, but I forgot.
Yeah. Yahoo used to be, yeah.
They dropped
That's interesting.
I know it would be Yahoo instead of Google right now. They didn't want to buy Google. Yes.
Damn.
I know that's the biggest L on the planet. I don't think there's any other company. That and the Ring Bell. The Ring Bell that was on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
They all was like, nah.
It's like, nah. Now look at them. They finally got a ring.
After like a year or 2, like Robert spun the block and was like, yeah, nah. Let me join in. So but he wasn't an initial investor, so he missed out a little bit.
So it says it's typically Northeast schools, Northeast states. I mean, so Massachusetts, Connecticut, Jersey. Those are the top 3 it shows.
Fire.
Right. I don't see New York on this list. I know New York and Cali gotta be here, but
I was gonna say I know they're there because I've seen it on something.
Yeah. I don't know. This seems like something I'm gonna look into after the fact, and I will have an update for y'all next week because I don't want y'all watching me research because I gotta research. And when I say research, I think people think that just means Google. No, I'm looking at peer-reviewed studies. I'm looking at the statistical data. I'm looking at what was considered your sample size. I'm realizing a lot of people don't know what research actually is. They really truly believe that research is Google.
She's looking at journals. Yes,
Why did you just say I'm looking at journals?
because you said that you were going to be looking at statistics and data.
But okay.
But
I feel like you're kind of like it's either you're lagging in real time. I literally led with that. I said I'll be looking at peer-reviewed studies, and then randomly after I'm like, yeah, I feel like people don't know what research is. You was like, she's looking at journals.
I didn't know that came out of my mouth. Sorry. I thought I said it in my head. I'm like, what do you mean? You're a mind reader?
Yes. So that might be another episode, like the state of education, quite literally, the states with the good education. Because to your point, if you're saying that for us to be able to have the capacity even to take out different backgrounds, different perspectives to meet somewhere in the middle to move forward, we need education. And we also then have to have a firm and common understanding of what quality education looks like. Because I would argue somebody educated in fucking backwoods of Texas is not going to have the same quality education of somebody in a private school in fucking Connecticut. So
this is true, or the Upper East Side of New York. Like, you
right.
don't even got to go that far. Like,
you know what I mean?
I didn't even know, like, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. It wasn't until like Gossip Girl, I was like, we have private schools? But, you know, being poor, that'll do it for you. But
okay, not gonna comment.
I didn't like the only thing I knew of was Catholic schools and public schools. Like, and then like it wasn't like maybe middle school I started hearing about charter schools. I'm like, so Catholic adjacent? Like, like the stuff that they would say, I'm like, so a Catholic school, and they're like, no, it's like a public school, but not really. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? They're like, I don't know, the teachers, you know, they don't all need master's degrees or whatever. And I'm like, so who the fuck is teaching y'all? But again, I was in middle school. I know now you at least have to have your bachelor's, but this was a little over 15 years ago.
Some time ago. So all I'll say.
Slightly over 15 years ago. I'm not going to give the exact number.
So let me ask you a question, because you had brought up the fact that if we have agreed upon education or whatever, then we could come to some type of consensus to move forward. So with that in mind, right, do you think it's ever truly possible to have like an objective truth then? Like, if we're all educated the same, then we'll all have the same perspective. It seems like you're alluding to, like, if we all have...
Yeah, close.
Right.
I mean, there's certain things, you said objective, so there's certain things where it's like, it don't matter what you say, the facts are the facts. You can't change it.
Yeah. But at time, like, for example, when we were playing that game yesterday, and it was like, is liking someone's thirst trap cheating? Now I'm like, by that definition of cheating, no, because you're not cheating. And they were, but it's subjective. Is there really truly such a thing when you have to add perspective, when perspective factors into a response of that magnitude?
Well, in that example, that is the example where perspective plays a part.
Right, but can you be objective at all if your perspective is based on your own personal experience?
Personal, is that a general statement?
Like, can that even exist if everyone's perspective is shaped uniquely by their life experiences, their access to education, things of that sort? Is objectivity something that can even truly exist in its rarest form, because everyone has their own perception on the thing?
I think so. I think it can, but also, like, I think people can agree, like, oh, this is the definition of cheating, right? But then people will say, even though we all know that that's the definition, this is how I feel about it. So that's when their perspective comes into play. But
thank you, man.
That's all the facts. this is what cheating is. You agree that this is what cheating is, but you also saying for you, cheating is a little more broader than that. So, yes, I think there can be. I think there can be an objective standpoint, but also, no, I don't believe everyone will stand on it.
So, if you believe that it can be objective, then and how do we get there? Because if I was like in that conversation yesterday, I was truly basing it off of the definition of what is cheating. Cheating is rooted in dishonesty. So if as long as I'm not being dishonest, then I'm not cheating. But that wasn't the case. Like, that wasn't what was being said. And a lot of people are like, context matters. No, it doesn't. The definition of the words matter. Context is your personal opinion. It's your perspective on how you feel about your experience, your lived experience. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about my lived experience.
Human experience.
I'm looking at the definition. The definition of the word.
We have to move off the definition. That's the thing. Because we're human.
Okay. I'm human.
I'm not
I always go by the definition, you bastard. But then doesn't that then prove my point that there's no,
like, the emotion layer plays a factor. That's the problem.
You people with your goddamn feelings.
You people. I said it was cheating. And I don't care. Everyone was slicing it one way or another, like, oh, it's disrespectful. Oh, if my partner felt some type of way, I would stop doing it. It's not cheating. So, I don't give a fuck how much emotion is. It's not. If you like someone's thirst trap, it's not cheating. Now, if you slide into their DMs, then it's cheating. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Now, but the question was, like, people were saying, the other one was, is it disrespectful to go through someone's phone? Yes, it is disrespectful. Other people were like, "Oh no!"
And I don't think that was I don't think that was a statement.
I have nothing to hide.
I think it said, "Is it wrong to go through someone's phone? Are you doing something like are you wrong for going through a phone?"
Yes.
Objectively, no, you're not. It's a phone. It's a thing. It's an inanimate object. You're not rifling through someone's personhood. But you see, you're using your context, your lived experience.
Is it wrong to go through someone's phone?
By just a blanket statement of, am I wrong because I went through a phone? No, it's a phone.
It said someone's phone. It didn't say a phone.
Any phone would be someone's phone. Am I wrong? No. If I'm just going through, if I'm just going by the words in the statement, no.
Is it wrong to go through someone's phone?
It's wrong to slap somebody because that's assault. That's a crime. That's wrong. Is it wrong to flip through a phone? Who the fuck cares? No.
No.
But that's where I'm like, your perspective is going to shape any opinion you're gonna have. So there's no such thing really as objective.
Someone's privacy. That's not a perspective. That's exactly what it is. Going through someone's phone is invading their privacy.
Was it not you a few episodes ago who said none of us even have privacy for real? So if we already do not have privacy because we fucking don't, what exactly am I invading?
I mean, you do have.
We don't have privacy. We don't.
Privacy depending on how your phone is set up or how your life is set up. I'm not saying that the NSA is tapped into everybody's phone, but they can tap into it if they want to. I'm not
Which
saying
means we already don't have privacy. As soon as you commit a crime, what they do? Go through your fucking phone and use the shit in your phone to prove you guilty. So we already don't have that shit. So it's not wrong.
They can't just go through your phone because they breathe. There's steps to get there.
Yeah, and if you unlock the phone and give it to me to go through, then I'm not wrong. The act of just going, like, I feel like, is it wrong to go read a diary? Is a greater invasion of privacy than going through a phone. Going through a phone, anybody.
thing.
It's not, and here's why it's not. You're not walking around on a daily basis with your diary in hand. You're typically hiding the diary. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows where it's at but you. But your phone is on you every fucking day. Your phone can easily be stolen.
Private photos. People typically in their notes love to put their fucking passwords. They love to put their credit card numbers because crackheads. Yes. Yeah, you'll be surprised. People have text messages where they send photos of their credit cards. They send health information to people. Your phone has a lot of your
I'm not negating, but you see how this is now no longer objective. Look at it's not, we're not
way more. No, I'm comparing it to the diary. I'm not comparing it to the whatever.
I'm saying even this conversation has shown that objectivity can't exist because we have perspectives. Because I'm saying something that you don't want people having access to, you don't walk around with every single day. Is your fucking social security in your wallet, or is it in a fireproof safe? Because you and again, then you put yourself. That is a risk that you take. Then you run the risk of somebody going through your shit.
Literally has either a pass key, a biometric to get in. So
because it's not hard to.
Here's the part. There's some people that either have hidden apps or apps that are hidden behind a pass key. And because you want to go in there, you figure it out. You know, because most people, their pass keys like their birthdays, normal shit. And then now you're inside of all the information. So to me, it's the same thing as a diary. Same thing as a diary.
It's not, because you're not walking around with the diary. You're walking around with the phone. Anything that you're walking around with on your personal, you taking it out into the public, it's like when people like, oh, if you didn't want people to comment, you can't post it. You shouldn't have posted it. Once you post it, you make it public. Once you walk out the privacy of your home with whatever it is, you're exposing it to the public. And that's why I'm like, that's one of the things that everybody takes with them every fucking where. So for that reason, no, because you put it at risk every day. You take it outside the house with you. You don't take everything outside the house with you. You're not taking your birth certificate outside the house with you. You're not taking your social. You're not taking your fucking passport every goddamn day. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm like.
Your phone or whatever, you can remotely lock it down, or you can wipe it. So it's still even like you can safely secure all your stuff by just
I'm not debating that. I'm simply saying that for something if it is wrong for me to go through it, then you shouldn't have it in public access.
Okay, so your body is in public access. Is it not wrong for someone to?
How do you go through a body? You want me to phase through you? Hey, if I could phase through you, I'd phase through to everybody. There'll be no foot traffic. And we're talking about inanimate objects. I'm not talking about a human being. I'm talking about a thing that we didn't have 40, 50 years ago. It's a fucking thing. It's not a person, it's a thing. It's like people be like, oh, my bag is my private property, but when you go to establishments, what they do, dig through your fucking bag. So that's all like.
But they don't tell you to unlock your phone. Like,
I didn't say that. I'm simply saying, like, it's a thing. It's not wrong to go through a fucking thing. If you are that hard pressed about your privacy, don't put it in a thing that can easily be fucking hacked. I don't even have to have your phone in my hand.
People have stuff on their phone that they don't think is private until it gets out.
But at the end of the day, if the statement is it wrong to go through a phone? It's a thing. It's not wrong to go through a thing. It's a thing. And they got no fucking feelings.
If you go through someone's chest, not like chest, like
that's a human.
If you had like a chest that had like a lock, and
it's a thing. An inanimate object. It's not wrong to go through an inanimate object.
So you don't care about nobody's privacy except for if it's a fucking diary.
No, I just said if you cared about your privacy, you wouldn't take it. You wouldn't put it at such risk. Your phone is high risk.
the question wasn't is it high risk. The question is it wrong to go through the phone and it's wrong.
And I only brought that up because what you said, oh, you're invading privacy. And then that's when I was like, no, because the things that you want to keep private, you barely take out your fucking house. So
you have private conversations, that is privacy.
Where you have those private conversations? Out in public?
Yes. That's what text messages for. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you meant like in-person private conversation. If you're having a conversation in person, you're not out in public. You're in seclusion. You're hidden because you don't want nobody to hear you.
Okay.
But again, this is part of the question, right? Like, can you truly be objective if everybody has a different perspective? Your perspective is this an invasion of privacy. My perspective is privacy doesn't even fucking exist. So, no, it's a fucking thing. If I attribute my moral compass to people, right? It didn't ask me, are you morally bankrupt if you do the thing or whatever? It just, is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It's wrong.
It's a thing. Who gives a fuck? It didn't exist 50 years ago.
Who shit it is?
Well, says the one that's always like, I'm about to hack into your PC. I would argue my PC is more private than my phone.
This is true.
So, and she so easily threatens my privacy but want to tell me it's wrong. So then I guess the answer to that question is no, you can't truly be objective. Because even your understanding of definitions is shaped by how you see the world. Like when people be like, studying for a test is good for you, and I'm like, well, yes, passing the test would be a consequence. No, it's not. It's not bad. That's not the definition of the word. The definition of the word isn't a bad response. The definition of the word is a response to a thing. So they can be good or bad. That's why negative consequences. But because nobody hears positive consequences, their understanding of the word is shaped by their experience with it. Their perspective then becomes that consequences can only be bad. So then we can't truly be objective.
That's what I said, though. I said because humans have emotions, as much as we would like to, we can. And you was like, well, I'm a human, and then we went into our whole tangent. So, but
I think I could be objective though, because I don't give a fuck about a feeling.
Right.
I'm only looking at the definition of the word. Those words mean.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Question. Because I was just saying, like, cell phones are like 50 years old, and that's that, right? When you are observing or analyzing an event, a human, what have you, do you always have to what?
An event, a human? Anyways,
yeah, like, so for example, when we were talking about the impact of, what was it, Good Times?
Oh my God. Uh-huh.
So we're looking at a pat. What are you doing? Are you okay?
I don't know. You don't see the shit like blurring out, or is it just me?
That's just you. You look fine, and then you keep putting your hand up, and I'm like, what's she doing? Are you okay? Do you have to use the lens of that day and age, of that period in time, to analyze all the time? Like, essentially, does the context always matter when it comes to perspective?
You said, do we have to use the lens of what?
So, when we're judging like the actions or beliefs from like the past, do we have to view them from that time period?
Not all of them, no.
So give me an example when you do, give me an example when you don't.
Okay. Jim Crow. The shit was racist. It was wrong to separate people based on the color of their skin. Right? Can't be like, oh, da da da. Right? Then there's the other half of that time where it's like the family the wife didn't work, she was a stay-at-home wife, da da da. That is a product of the time. literally women couldn't do shit without a man. So it was like, that is what it is. But as for being racist and bigoted, you're literally saying these people can't have it because they happen to have melanin. What? Like, no. All humans should be treated equally.
But do you perceive a racist white from that time different from a racist white from this time? Because a racist white from that time, everybody that was white was racist. So that was just the world they lived in. Versus now, everybody that is white is not racist. Is it different?
Let me choose my words carefully. No, same thing. Same thing.
So a racist white then is the same as a racist white now? I would argue that the racist white now is worse because now it's no longer this just society. It's just the way of the world. It's now you are actively choosing to go against the grain and be racist.
I don't think they're choosing to go against the grain. That's just how they feel. And it's just racism over time. That's it. They got the same. The reason why I'm saying it's the same shit because their grandparents or great grandparents are still alive. So it's generations of that shit.
Yeah, right, but back then, it was a white person was putting themselves in physical danger if they tried to ally with a black person. There is no more physical danger if you ally and protect a black person.
I don't.
Not to the same extent.
No more physical.
But when I say physical, I mean like the KKK could pull up to your house and do something, and that was it, and you couldn't do nothing about it. We now have laws that
on camera by police officers, and some of them walk away scot-free.
I'm not saying that the impact is like now poof gone. Now everybody goes to jail. I'm simply saying that the perceived societal perspective has shifted. Back then, you could watch a black person get unalived, and it was just like, it's a Tuesday. Now, you see it, and there's like public outcry. Like there is a greater response for the opposite, as opposed to just like, it's Wednesday. Like back then, you were taking children to lynchings because it was a sight to be seen, putting it on postcards and selling it. Now, if you tried to put that on a postcard and sell it, that would likely not make it off the press. Like it would not without, again, public outcry. So even the perceived response as a societal whole has shifted.
True.
And that's why I'm like, so do we have to always look at the actual time period to be like, oh, this is wrong? Or do we like disregard all that and be like, it's just wrong now?
It's wrong then, it's wrong now. Like, is the question more like, is the perception of people towards it or just the act itself?
Like when you are building a perspective on a thing from the past, does your perspective always have to include the time that you're talking about? Or
I don't think it always has to, no.
And that's why I was like, when does it not have to include the time that it's from? And when you brought up racism, I'm like, well, I think it is considerably shifted. You talk about racism from the 1500s, everybody was racist then. It was far more acceptable. So I think the time period does matter to shape your perspective. You can't just be like, he had 7 slaves. Because if he had 7 slaves in the 1700s, a lot of white people had slaves in the 1700s. So it was a sign of the times. Versus if you told me tomorrow that somebody has 7 slaves, that's very different.
It's a very different conversation.
Very different.
It's gonna be, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean, house elves? Like, what are you saying?
I don't know. I feel like racism doesn't. Times don't change shit for me. At least for that topic. Like I can't be like, oh well, that was the time. It was wrong from the day that they stepped foot on Africa. Honestly and truly. And
I mean, they were racist
side,
before they got to Africa.
I know, but I'm saying like I'm talking about how we got here to America. I talk about England invading every fuck body. I'm talking about us getting over here. But side note, I learned something about geography. Africa is actually big as fuck. Like, no, no, no. When I say this, please understand. Like I already know the globe map is not to actual scale. We know that part. But based on the globe, I'm like, oh, we already knew Africa was big as fuck. That's not the point that
Okay.
that's not the revelation that I had.
Because
I
I'm
was
like,
talking to one of my coworkers because he's Nigerian, and he was like, "Yeah, it snows in South Africa." Now me, I'm like,
snows. Stop sign.
exactly. I'm like, snow? How? And I'm thinking of the way the globe looks. I'm like, okay, this is the equator. It would get chilly, but snow. And he's like, no, like the bottom of Africa is dead ass a couple miles away from Antarctica. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, I know it's big, but it's not down at the other bottom. What are you talking about? He's like, no, it is. And I looked at a map, like I literally went to Google and was like, actual, size of the globe, like showing the scale. And I'm like, and it was like, not the round version, but the flat version. I'm like, oh my God, it's dead ass that close. Like, the only other country that I thought was that close to Antarctica was obviously Russia. But I was just like, I didn't realize Africa was that fucking long. Like, I know it's the biggest continent, but like, and he was like, yeah, you can fit like 3 Americas in it, like United States of America. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I just kept, I went to a deep dive and I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
see, you're supposed to put your bonnet on.
Oh.
She be fucking up, y'all.
I forgot. This was for conspiracies. That's not a conspiracy. It's knowledge.
The idea that America is on maps bigger than what it is, that's not necessarily knowledge, because some people still think the earth is fucking flat.
They need Jesus. What we call the flat earthers? I forgot what they call them. But
the flat earthers.
Like, I was just like, my thing was just like, I obviously I knew it was the biggest continent. We knew it was bigger than every other continent, but I did not realize the scale in which it was that fucking big that it snows in South Africa.
Where else did your rabbit hole take you?
No, I stopped there. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't keep going, but I was just like, oh my God, I learned something new, technically. I'm not gonna be like extended knowledge. No, it was completely. I did not know it snowed in Africa, and it wasn't on some because I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be hot in Africa all day. No, obviously they have weather, but
I didn't know it snowed in Louisiana until I was in Louisiana.
Like the snow comes once in a fucking half a century. Like I thought it was one of those like anomaly. Like I thought they got rain, sun. That was it in like spring. I didn't think they had
rain, sun, spring is mad funny.
Because it don't snow in Florida like that either. But Florida's like right above the equator's ass crack, so that makes sense.
Ass crack is funny.
But yeah, I didn't realize, and I'm like, it's not that I don't even know if geography, if geography is taught in schools like that anymore. But like,
I think middle school. Because I remember they used to do it at...
when I was a para, I didn't see them... I don't recall them teaching them that.
Yeah, they would have to take a geography quiz. Like, they would take quizzes. Like, they started with New York. And that's when they were like, what are the 5 boroughs of New York?
Yeah,
the kids were like, that. Jersey!
They did, like... I don't recall them doing the entire globe, though.
Yeah.
Also, I just would zone out. I didn't pay attention to shit, so... Take my this with a grain of salt. But But yeah, sorry, my teammates messaging me. Um, yeah, that was just an amazing. I was just really like, which I feel like I shouldn't have been, but I was really just like, I didn't realize like it was that fucking big. Like
Yeah.
I knew it was big. I knew it was the biggest continent, but I was like, snow. It was really like I don't know
Yo,
why I keep going on this tangent. Back to the topic at hand.
maybe the hat got to be for whenever you deviate.
That'll make me stop doing it. But I'm putting the shit on. I'll be like, I don't want to do this shit no more.
So let me ask a question. Do you think that there is an inherent difference between like I understand your perspective versus I am empathetic to your plight?
Do I think there's a difference?
Between a shared perspective and empathy.
Possibly.
Okay, can you give me some context? Like, what is making you say possibly? What are you thinking? What's coming to mind for you?
I guess being black in the workforce. That's one because it's like someone can say like, you know, who's not of the same race can say, you know, I'm empathetic to what's going on because I see what's happening and this would never happen to me. But also, their perspective may be it would never happen to me, so I don't like I can be empathetic to you, but I don't really like I see how it's deep. Like I understand that you're feeling these emotions, but other people are like it's also not that deep. So like you know like yeah like microaggressions because it seems like the other side doesn't really understand. No matter how much you explain it to them, they're not getting the microaggression.
It's not clocking to them.
It's not the T is not clocking.
Yo.
Anyway, they will be like they would see the frustration and they will empathize with it. Like I know it must be annoying, but to them they're just like
It's not that deep.
not that deep because it's like you're saying this little thing is what's making you feel these emotions, and it's like it's like walk it off, brush it off, like shit happens. But it's like you're never gonna see it because it doesn't happen to you every day. You don't understand the level at which these microaggressions are happening to me. I'm not saying microaggressions don't happen to other people, but when you're black and corporate, it's just like, really?
You're so well spoken. Oh my god, you did such a great job. Like, I'm so surprised. I will not forget being in a meeting in a room full of educators. All of us have a master's degree, and somebody turning to me and go, "Wow, you read so quickly. I'm so impressed." I'm more impressed of how slow you read and still got your master's.
Yo, some people need extra time.
I think for me, it also calls it. So oftentimes, when Amina and I used to live together, Amina's my sister, guys. When my sister and I used to live together, she would be like, "Oh, I understand why they do such and such. I don't give a fuck." So she could clearly have a shared perspective. I could see where you're coming from. I see your vision. I see your point. I do not have empathy for you. So that to me translated as perspective is about cognition, empathy is about emotion. I can see what you see and not care. It's why people currently that are part of that regime can see what they see and be like, that's your fault. You know what I mean? Until it actually happens to them, and then they're like, the pain in my chest, right? So I think, especially if we think like in terms of conflict resolution, like you're at work, there's an issue. I think it is dangerous to make decisions based on emotion. So I don't think that empathy and perspective are the same. And I think perspective lends itself as a better tool towards conflict resolution than empathy. Because me feeling bad for you doesn't necessarily negate the thing that you did, right? And if I'm just looking blanket at the thing that you did, then that's my perspective, which is cognitive, me thinking, versus empathy is me feeling. So I think Kalba definitely did a great job, in my opinion, of literally showing me the disconnect, the differences between the two. One is my ability to logically put two and two together to see how you got what you got, and the other one is how do I feel about that. And it was a court case not too long ago where this like straight A student was really struggling, and mom is sick, had scholarships incoming, needed money, and so I think he had done something like he held a bag for somebody. He didn't know what was in the bag, and it ended up being like illegal things in the bag. So now he's facing jail time. And so happened to be a black man, and thank God a black judge, because the judge was just like, I'm not gonna throw you in jail. I understand why you did what you did. I see your perspective. From your perspective, as far as you're concerned, I'm just holding a bag. That holding a bag in your mind does not translate to I am breaking a law, because it was unclear if the kid knew what was in the bag. I think the guy was just like, I'll pay you $5,000, just hold this bag for me. Okay, I'll hold it back for 5 bands, because who wouldn't if they need money that bad? Like, you're watching your mother die. You need money. You need to help. So, and you're a kid, you know what I mean? Like, your cognition is still cooking. Whereas you ask a 35-year-old man, hold his bag for 5 bands, immediately we're gonna be like, what's in the bag?
Bag. Like,
so I think in that case, the perspective mattered. Him being able to see where this kid could come to this conclusion of like, well, this will help. That's easy money. I just gotta watch a bag. Versus if it was just like empathy of like, well, you had to know what was in the bag. Like, I feel like you should have looked. Like, I feel like there was a distinct difference between the two, and I think there's clear one is a better tool for decision making than the other.
Yeah.
And I don't know that a lot of people have that understanding. I think a lot of people feel like perspective and empathy are one and the same. Like, for me to be empathetic, I have to see where you're coming from, and vice versa. If I don't care about your predicament, I can't see where you're coming from. And I'm like, I don't think they're putting their thinking caps on, because like there was a incident in a change in the military that was coming down, where typically people can get shaving waivers. So when black men specifically shave, they tend to get like razor bumps and all these issues on their skin because of the constant irritation. So black people benefited most from shaving waivers. Well, with this new administration, they were like, well, if you're on the shaving waiver for a year, after that we kicking you out, because clearly you have a condition that is impacting our ability to be uniform. So on the surface, not that deep, just freaking shave, right? But these things that impact typically largely African American men, it's painful. So it's not just a thing of like, oh, I'm a shave and just have irritated skin. Like, irritation can be painful. You now got to deal with like razor bumps, ingrown hairs. That shit hurts. You've got little bumps on your face, some of them bleeding. Like, that shit's painful. So you want me to continue to subject myself to this so I can stay in the military, or get kicked out? And get kicked out with like no benefits, because they're like, that's your fault. I have a medical condition, but it's your fault that you got the medical condition. So, oh well, get the fuck out. I am not a man. Clearly, right? But I can empathize with that predicament of being like forced between a rock and a hard place. So now there's people that have been in the military for years, decades even, that are facing expulsion because they have black skin. So I'm like, it's stuff like that where it's like perspective. It doesn't make sense to me, but empathy, I understand the black man's plight. I don't understand why the fuck do we all have to be uniform? Why do we have to look the exact same? We can't. We literally can't look the exact same unless we're all identical. So what uniform are you talking about? What are we talking about? What are we doing? What's happening? I don't understand why that rule has to be in place. Just give them the shaving waiver so that they can have like non-irritated skin so that they can function and do their job. You want their skin on fire and you think they could do something? You think they can function with fire on your cheeks?
Or is it like they have beards or they have like a different type of
like no, it'll just be like any so you know how like 5 o'clock shadow, a white guy could shave that and it's fine. They can shave every day and it's fine. But our skin reacts very differently. It's not fine for us. So it's not even like beard, it's just literally the natural state of your hair growing on a daily basis, and you being forced to shave that often leads to irritation disproportionately between the races. So, well, because race is a human race, not really races, if you know, but so that's why I'm like, in that case, I can empathize. And I think part of that empathy stems from I don't necessarily have the same shared perspective as the regime that made that rule. Because I'm like, that shit don't make any sense to me. I wonder if I would still have the same intensity of empathy if it made sense, if it was a rule that made sense.
Got you.
And I think that it's because of that collusion or lack thereof that people tend to mix the two and be like, oh, same, but not same. Perspective is cognitive, empathy is emotional. Let's see. I think I have 2 more questions. Oh, this is a good one. How has the rise of personalized media feeds and social media algorithms affected the average person's exposure to different viewpoints?
I think to circle back for the synergy.
Throw her out. Throw her out.
And I'm like, oh, thank God I haven't heard that synergy shit at work. Last week I started hearing that shit at work. Anyways, to go back to the part where
that's crazy.
Like, perceptions can kind of be shared once we have like a shared understanding and knowledge of certain topics, because knowledge is now being spread, correct knowledge, I will say,
and incorrect,
at least on my feed, correct knowledge is being shared. People's perspectives are starting to change. Hold on. The question is, how has social media
I'm like, it would be helpful if you just got the doc so you can see the questions.
Oh.
How has the rise of personalized media feeds and social media algorithms affected the average person's exposure to different viewpoints?
There we go. So people, it has greatly affected people, because now you're starting to see people's point of views, and based on your algorithm, you are starting to get, like, I feel like there's more empathy for other people now on social media. Obviously, there's the red pill rabbit hole that some people fall into, but even then, was it a news report? What the fuck was I watching? Anyways, a young man explained like how he had fell into red pill, and then he kind of got himself out of it. He was like, yes, it's very much like a cult. But he was like, he was able to get out of it because he started getting perspectives from women. And it's like, women aren't, the way that they, make them perceive them as or whatever. And it's saying like, oh, they just want you for your money, or they don't care about you, or you ain't shit, or whatever. And it was very much like, because of his social media feed, he fell into the red pill, right? And then, thank God, he was able to come out of it because he started seeing other perspectives. So, and then he also took the initiative to do more. But like social media could definitely take you down one perspective versus the other. Sometimes it can get you out of it. Sometimes you end up on conspiracy talk. But a lot of things happen, and it's like I think the rise of social media. There was a point there. Granted, there was also a documentary on this. Uh, all right.
Take us down the rabbit hole. Go.
I don't remember the name of the documentary, so bear with me. But it was on Netflix, and it was talking about how social media was used during Trump's first run for office. And so it explained how this one data company basically was like flooding Facebook with all these type of videos and topics, and it kind of like built this cult-like structure, which we now know as the Maggots. Um, and literally, that's how social media has because it depends on the algorithm, and that's why they are fighting for their lives, clawing to get TikTok because nobody's algorithm is the same. We may come across things, depending on how it is, but when I tell you, people I've talked to, and I'm like, yeah, I'll say something, and they'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, do you?" The first thing I'm like, "Oh, are you on TikTok?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, my bad. You might be an Instagram baddie," and they're like, "No, I'm on TikTok, but I've never seen that fucking video." I'm like, "I see it every day. People have been stitching it, and doing this. How have you done?" Literally, that it's tailor made for you. So that's how powerful it can be because you can, if you're in TikTok and you're on that algorithm of like, yes, the great hack about Cambridge Analytics. There you go. I was like, it was something Cambridge, but I couldn't remember the full thing.
Because I saw that one. And I was like,
good. Right after the other one where it was like showing how kids are addicted to social media. That's another good one. And I have my students watch that. But yeah, so if you have that TikTok algorithm, once you get someone that's into whatever that's on the borderline, because they don't even have, because once you're already in it, you can't get changed. I mean, some people can, but for the most part, it's few people that will be changed. But if you're teetering like, oh, maybe I'm more like I want to be a socialist because I want people to be able to like as a community, or you're like, well, I had to build my shit up. Why the fuck should I have to prop someone else up? You get that algorithm in front of that person that says, yeah, you shouldn't have to prop a motherfucker up. That's it. That's it. So, and people are on social media a lot. Like,
I think it's so interesting how your voice even changed from the perspective. That's a clear tell of which side you're aligned with. Because you were like, well, I think it's a community. Yeah, nah, I fucked up because I had to do it. Like, oh, chill, bloodbath.
It doesn't determine what side I'm on. I'm saying that's the thought process of like the devil and egg. But that is how I think social media has changed the landscape because depending if you can get the right thing in front of the right person at the right time and you keep feeding them that's it. It's like when what is it called? Like the sleeper agents, a sleeper cell or whatever. They show you all this shit. You go around your life all day, and then all you hear is this is bullshit, and then you start playing the violin. And I don't know if y'all seen that movie, so you may not know the reference. Anyways, but you know what I'm saying? Like once you get your target audience and you start flooding with, they start to go. Because I think in that Cambridge Analytics thing, this one lady was talking about how like it's not funny, but like it was like a cult like life, and like she lost her family, like people disowned her and shit. She was lonely. Like, she was really crazed out on the Trump shit.
Yo.
And she had to like claw her way out of it. Like she managed. Thankfully, something fell on her feed, and then she started going down the correct path. I'm sorry. If you're a MAGA supporter, you are on the wrong path. and I don't
You
give
were
a
on the
fuck.
wrong side of history.
I'm not saying, oh, if you're a Republican, I'm friends with Republicans. I have no problem with Republicans. That's not the problem. My problem is if you're an extremist, there's a problem. Extremists on either side, it don't matter. Don't matter. Because there's nothing good that comes out of extremes. But yeah, that's how I think social media has changed.
I would say that extreme wealth is only positive.
You said
there's
what?
there's
You would
nothing
argue-
wrong with extreme wealth. What do you mean? There's nothing positive from extremes. Please.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
got
listening
extreme-
to her. Huh?
So they got extreme notes. That's what they got.
I guess if your algorithm, right, is giving you the red pill, if you will, and it's tailored to you, how would you even see a different perspective? Because that's your algorithm is only going to show you what you already believe in. So how do you even get exposed to something different if the algorithm?
Sometimes, because it doesn't necessarily mean like, I'll use Facebook for example. Like most people, even if they fall down one path, they don't unfriend everyone that they had. So someone's eventually gonna share something, and you're gonna be like, you're gonna take a second, and it's not that you just changed based on that one video. It's like you see that, and because you're so on the red pill side, you're going to research to prove that person to be like, nah, this is wrong, blah blah blah. And once you start doing that research, then because all the apps talk to each other, literally, anything that has cookies, they talk to each other. So once Facebook sees, oh, you went on Google and you searched up a CNN article to basically counteract whatever the fuck, and you seen that gave correct information, now it's like, oh, maybe we should feed him this as well because he's searching it, not because he's trying to switch side. Because you happen to search for that, it's going to be like, okay, now we're going to send this to your feed. That's how you accident. That's how most people switch, is because they're trying to prove the other side wrong. And I'm not saying the blue side switches over, but the way the people that's yellow trying to figure out where to go, and people that's red, their point is trying to prove the other person wrong, and it's like, oh, huh, and then that's if they want to switch. Again, it's all human.
Because then why hasn't my algorithm shifted at all? Because I'm constantly looking stuff up. When people are like, oh, Trump said this or Obama did this, I'ma quickly go look.
But I think you're more like a YouTube Shorts person. I don't even think you're on like Instagram and TikTok. Like
I just happened to be on YouTube Shorts that one day because I was on YouTube.
Oh,
but I mostly scroll through Reels and TikTok.
Well, Instagram's algorithm's ass, so you kind of.
But again, even my TikTok,
see some crazy like. I don't know what.
I don't really Facebook like that.
But I was like looking on Facebook and I see something. I'm like, why the fuck are you showing me this? And I had to click it like, don't show me shit like this no more. But it was like, but I have like this one Republican person on my, they're from Long Island. You already know. I have one Republican who's a MAGA supporter on my feed, what the fuck? He posted something, and I was like, okay. And then like the next day, I seen something. I'm like, no, I don't, don't show me this. Like I haven't unfriended because I don't have the time to do all the steps to unfriend somebody and block them and whatever. I don't see you on my feed that often, but
I just unfollow like your feed.
Right,
I just
unfollow that feed, so I don't see. Like they'll pop up maybe like once every few months because it's like Facebook is like, maybe you want to see them again, but like other than that, like I don't go. Yeah, so yeah, it happens to be like whoever. Like I said, if you don't unfriend them, but Instagram. Threads though, I see a lot of everything because it's like fucking Twitter. But yeah, I love Threads.
It is Twitter.
Because Twitter put out their code base, and you know Meta, they love a copycat. They love a copycat. If they can't buy you, they're gonna copy you.
That part.
But Threads, I like it because I get to see other people's perspective. Like a lot of people hate seeing like a perspective that's completely opposite of them. They're like, oh, I don't want to see this shit. It's depressing. I don't know about everybody else, but I need to know what the fuck the enemy's doing. What the fuck is on your mind?
Right. What y'all cooking?
Right. I don't want to be in a world of fantasy and rainbows all the time because you're gonna come with your dark cloud and fire and brimstone and tear my shit up. What are y'all doing?
So, and I need to see you coming. I need to know.
I need to know. Like in this day and age, like what pisses me off the most, another tangent. No, it doesn't need an aluminum foil hat today.
I'm just listening.
One thing that pisses me off is like when I talk to adults and I'm like, oh yeah, and I talk about news and like, oh, I don't watch the news, I don't read the news. What are you in your fucking 30s for? How did you make it this far? Why do you have children? Like, especially people that have kids.
Motherfucker said, what you in your 30s for?
Like, it's just like, I get it. I'm not saying watch the news every day to be miserable. And one, the news isn't like how it used to be. I don't know if y'all used to watch the news in the early 2000s and obviously before, but like everybody was getting shot. Somebody was killing somebody. Somebody was abusing somebody. Like, but now the news, all they do is talk about politics. Like, I barely know what the fuck crimes is happening in New York. Apparently there's a serial killer on the rise though. So please be careful out there, New York people. But other than that, like, I just bypassed that, right?
Do you know how hard it is to be a serial killer these days? Because of the advancements in technology, you are far more easily caught.
I think there's been 2 or 3 bodies found so far. Yeah.
All right, Dexter. So, not too much.
I'm just saying. So, okay.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what have the victims been?
I didn't check the.
That's important because if they're, then we're safe.
I know. I think one was, I think, Spanish, and the other one looked white. She could be Spanish because but I got double check. But yeah, they're like, yeah, be careful, people. That's on the rise, and also like kids are also going around. It's not even Ding Dong Ditch at this point. They're going around in the middle of the night, like midnight to fucking 3 a.m, checking if people's doors is actually locked. Now, most people in the hood keep their doors locked, but they go into people's houses and shit. Teenagers. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
You're gonna get shot. Don't do that.
Know how many people have guns that's not registered? Like, what are you doing? Anyways.
Animals that have guns that are registered.
Right. As long as if they shoot you and you land in their house and die, they ain't going to jail. So stop going to people's houses. Apartments. It's not even just like how it's like that ass in the projects. Like,
you doing this shit in the hood?
Yes, that's what I'm like. We lock our door because they're like, yeah, make sure you lock your doors. I'm like, I don't know a black person, a Spanish person, anybody in the hood that don't lock their door. I put the chain on the door. Like,
I used to have a slam lock. It auto locks. I still got a slam lock.
Like, and I have shit near, like at night, I have shit near my door. So if you open my door, I'm going to wake up. Something's falling. So please, I'm crazy. Please don't come into this house.
Yeah, I would not advise it. Because first off, the dog gonna start barking to wake her up if you so much as sniff a door. Gonna start cutting up.
Like someone's been throwing out trash at 4 a.m. They stopped, but it was like consistently 4 a.m. every day, and it was like Vivian, not even Maya. It was Vivian wilding, and then Maya was like, "All right, it's time to chime in." I was losing my mind.
Chime in is mess.
I shit you not, because it was like you would like when Vivian was Maya growl because she's like, "Bitch, I'm trying to sleep." But then she was like, all right, clearly we got to fight. Like, I don't understand. So, but yeah, it's like, you should keep up with the news enough. Like, you need to know what's going on. You need to start knowing who your assemblyman is. You need to know your councilman. Like,
who's your assemblyman? Who's your council people? Okay.
Google, beautiful thing.
Cool.
I mean, I know how to contact them if I need. Let me put it that way. Know how to contact your assemblyman. I know it's a lady. I just don't know her name because her flyers come in my fucking mailbox every fucking week.
Who's your senator?
A senator?
Yeah. You don't even know your senator, girl.
Isn't that fucking Schumer?
I don't know. Who's your senator?
Or fucking the other one, black guy.
What black guy? Cory Booker?
Is it him?
Not Cory Booker.
No. It's another guy. I don't know. I have it in my notes. Listen, I'm not even good with people's names that I see every day.
That's crazy.
I have their numbers. So.
Well, our congresswoman was Mikey Sherrill, but now she's about to be our governor. So.
Fire. Oh, that's what she switched from.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Now, like, wasn't she already elected official for something?
Yeah, and then Jenny Mundell's the mayor of Bloomfield.
Mayor though.
Who's your mayor?
Right now, Eric Adams. And a month and two and a week, it'll be Zoran Mamdani.
Love that for you. Yeah, we really did our big one with that. I'm really proud of us collectively.
The fact
we really said we tired of your shit.
Was it Alabama or Mississippi? I think it's Mississippi. That Mississippi turned blue.
What?
Yes, it's either
I gotta
Alabama
Google this.
or Mississippi. I think it's Mississippi though.
I love this for them.
Yes, they turned blue like that. That whole time we was all voting. We was in the stew on November 4th. Do you understand? Virginia, Mississippi. When I heard Mrs. Yes, you didn't see me texting it. I was too hyped that night. But when I see Mississippi turn blue, I said, "Oh yeah, these motherfuckers is tired." They said,
"Yeah, we are sick and tired and sick." Yo,
too many times.
I love this for us.
It was funny because me and my brother said the same fucking TikTok to each other. I was like, "Yo, Mississippi turned blue? Oh, it's a wrap."
Chill.
Yeah, and California won proposition. I think it was 50 or 51, where they could add 5 more seats so they can combat the Republicans. Yeah,
there was was it Texas that was also trying to do the same shit?
Yes, so that's why he did it. That's why Newsom was like, "Oh, I got something for y'all. Yeah. Yeah.
We really was in the stew, bro. Like we really did that. I'm proud of us.
We went crazy.
We really said, "Hold my beer."
We made it year 1 of Trump.
Is this only 1 year? I thought there was only like one
we
left.
Haven't even made the full year yet. It will start officially in January, but
oh my God.
11 months and some change. Yeah.
We gotta do 3 more of this shit?
I pray we make it.
Well, maybe after he met Mamdani, he gonna be less of a dick. Because remember how he was coming for him? And then he seemed...
He was...
Right, girl! Best of friendos over there. I'm like, oh... Maybe.
Rubbing him.
Like, oh, did you call him a fascist? It's all right. Go ahead. You can say it. You can say yeah. Yes.
But
he's
again,
a fascist.
that's 2 New Yorkers standing in the same room from Queens. Come on. We know game recognized game. That's all a part.
It sure does. Oh my goodness. I thought we had done more time. It feels so long.
It does.
Oh.
It's because January literally is like 6 months.
Girl.
Like that's it's literally the longest month of the year. I don't care what nobody says.
I can't, like, my goodness.
It has to have 45 days.
It just feels so long. all the time. But all right, party people. This has been a lovely episode. I feel like we had some really good, hard-hitting questions. When I say we, I really mean me, because I'm noticing a trend where I'm the only one with questions. Jex just answers. So really, we about to rebrand the show as I have questions. I have questions.
That circle the question, but then I come back.
Nah, this was good. This was good. We are gonna throw this thick ass raid on somebody before we get out of here. I do believe I asked Jax to confirm with her schedule to make certain that we will be live for you guys next week. So we will be here next week. And with that, we